A Ways and Means subcommittee meeting today is building a case to request the president's tax returns, investigating potential business conflicts.
It's called presidential harassment, and it's unfortunate, and it really does hurt our country.
You laugh, but it's true, folks. Presidential harassment is a serious crisis that affects 1 out of every 320 million people in this country. Look at this man. He's so shaken, he can't even speak correctly or dress himself in appropriately sized clothes. You know, one thing that makes Trump so successful is that he knows how to make himself seem like the victim when other people are just doing their jobs. Like if the press reports on what he's doing, he's a victim of the fake news. If Congress investigates his conflicts of interest, it's presidential harassment. I bet if the cops were chasing Trump, he's the kind of guy who would try to call 911 on them. He'd be like, hello, I have an emergency. Some crazy guys are chasing me. Ever since I took the diamonds out of that store and it wasn't even open, I don't know what the big deal was. So the Democrats are launching multiple investigations into Trump. And the thing he's most worried about them getting is his tax returns. You see, President Trump doesn't want them knowing how much money he has or where the money has gone. And it turns out he isn't the only rich person having sleepless nights. Many real billionaires are also worried about the Democrats coming after their taxes, too.
Senator Elizabeth Warren wants a new tax on the richest Americans. She's calling it the ultra-millionaire tax. It would impose a 2% tax on Americans whose net worth exceeds $50 million, with an additional 1% levy on billionaires. And newly elected Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez proposed marginal tax rates as high as 70%. To fund a climate change plan called the Green New Deal.
A growing number of Americans, 76%, support making the super rich, I'm not talking about the average rich, the super rich, pay more in taxes.
So, Elizabeth Warren and Ocasio-Cortez are coming for the super rich, which, by the way, sounds like the most useless superhero ever. Help me, super rich. That speeding bus is headed right for my kid. Don't worry, I'll buy you a new kid. Super rich buys the day. Now, a lot of people try and paint Elizabeth Warren and Ocasio-Cortez as these fringe socialists. But the truth is, 76% of Americans supporting the raising of taxes means it's not that fringe. That's a really impressive number because usually the only thing 76% of Americans agree on is that extra guac should be free. Yeah, and it should be. Guacamole is a human right. But it really shouldn't come as a surprise that people want to tax the super wealthy, especially since we've been hearing so much about how well they're doing.
Around the world, billionaire wealth enjoyed its greatest ever increase in 2017. The total wealth of global billionaires grew to $8.9 trillion.
Just 26 people now control as much wealth as half of the Earth's population.
The 3 wealthiest people in the United States, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Warren Buffett, now own more wealth than the entire bottom half of the American population. Combined, a total of 163 million people, or 63 million households.
Holy shit. 3 dudes have as much money as the poorest 163 million people in America. Honestly, do we even have to tell them that we're taxing them? Like, because I don't even think they'd notice. They'd just be like, yeah, just take it. And be like, what are you talking about? What taxes? What are you talking about? They wouldn't notice. It's like if you took one tattoo away from Adam Levine. He's never gonna know. So, because most of the world's wealth is becoming more and more concentrated, most people are on board with raising taxes on the super rich. Although, if you asked the super rich, they've got a billion reasons why their taxes shouldn't go up.
What do you think of Senator Warren's idea of a tax on wealth?
We shouldn't be embarrassed about our system. If you want to look at a system that's non-capitalistic, just take a look at what was perhaps the wealthiest country in the world, and today people are starving to death. It's called Venezuela.
If the Democrats are proposing anything close to a 70% level of income tax, how many core Democrats are going to be supportive of a move towards socialism? Not very many. President Trump will get reelected.
You don't have to be a genius to see what's happening here. These billionaires are fear-mongering, right? They're making it seem like there are only 2 options in life. Either they have low taxes or we starve to death in Trumpezuela. And it's bullshit, though. It is. Right? There's a middle ground. This is the same logic that guys use to get their girlfriends to have sex. It's like, either we bone or my balls are gonna explode, okay?